Alright, so let's just recap this. The one-way binding. You learned to bind a field of a component class to the template. You can see that just right here. On the left side we got the component and the field, and on the right side we got the HTML template, where we simply use the double curly braces to bind the value of that property, or to bind the property and then display the value, right? Okay, so components can also have methods like other classes. We already talked about this. And this is how you can define a method for a component. So like say hello, and we will do that just in a second, because can you guess the most interesting part about it? Right, we can bind events to them from the template. So as you can see on the right side right here, every time a user clicks this button, the say hello method is called. Now let's do that in practice. So that when we click on the button inside of our HTML, we can force a method to run inside of our component. Okay, so switch over to the app component.ts, and right here we will now create a new method. And don't forget, if you come from JavaScript, you might want to use the term, or you might know the term function. So a method is just like a function, right? So we call that method add, because this method should take care of adding a new to-do element to our list, right? Now we want to call this method once a user clicks on a specific button. For sure, it's the add button. So let's switch over to our template. And here you can see the button class add button. This is our button, which includes the add sign, the plus sign, right? And now we want to bind it to a specific event. And if you are familiar with HTML, you know that a button can have an on-click event, right? And we will use it here in a similar way. So what we do is we say parentheses click. So this is the event, and then you can see we can enter a value here. So once the button gets clicked, we want to call the add method. And again, this is working because we are inside of the same component, right? So app component.ts contains the add method and app component.html. So we are inside of the app component. Here we are inside of the template. Here we are inside of the script, right? So this is why we can use the add method here very, very easy. So what happens now is that once a user clicks on the button, the click event gets called, and the add method listener, which we have now registered, will get invoked, right? If you want to hear it in that termination. Okay, so in easy words, once a user clicks on a button, we will see that add method here being executed. We can write down some logs or something else, but to make it very easy, we can simply print out an alert and let's say hi. So alerts are very easy to see, right? So let's switch over. And once we click or write down something here and click on the plus button here, or add button, you can see an alert popping up. Definitely make sure in the background that you have your changes saved. Okay, and you can see hi. So this is the alert box, right? Awesome. Okay, so now we can force an action or a method to be called once you click on the button. And this is very important for our main functionality of this application, because for sure we have like 3 actions here. We want to add something, we want to mark something as done, and we have a delete button. And every time we click on a specific button, we want to perform a specific action, right? So this is called event binding.